Hello, everybody. Hello, hope you're well. Welcome to, once again, my personal Gmail account, because we are still locked out of our regular YouTube account. If any of you beautiful people work for YouTube or know anyone who works for YouTube, please let me know, because we need to get this sussed. Anyway, my name's Chris. I'm going to be with you for the next hour and a half to hour and 45 minutes as we ask you about the issues of the day with our Tablefish quiz. Been missing your beautiful faces over the last 2 weeks. I've been away, so it's good to see you back. I'm looking forward to us getting started. The last week's quiz was the active quiz for some time there until quite recently. So if you've logged in already, you may just have to refresh because you might be logged into last week's. And by last week's, I mean 2 weeks ago's quiz, obviously. Hi, Kev. What's the crack? I know there are more of you watching the stream than there are logged into the Tablefish platform, so I suspect that's a little bit of what's happening. Give people a few minutes to get logged on. Crackless, yeah, indeed. Today's quiz is sponsored by the CMO of Ireland, who has reduced the country once again to being on the verge of crackless. Yeah, even my own team just logged into the old quiz. What's that all about? Cool. There's a fake Frazzle Dazzle. What is this? Hello, Charles. We'll just give people a second or two to connect. I think with like various things, us having taken a week off, this not being on a regular YouTube channel, could be a smaller quiz than usual. It's not going to bother us too much here at Tablefish HQ. We have to get back into the swing of things because it's Christmas party season and they're all going digital. Ooh. We have 6 rounds today. We have general knowledge tomorrow on history, sports and games, what a character, buy you a drink, which is a requested alcohol round, and alphabet soup as usual. We also have a new concept coming to the quiz today, which I haven't yet decided if I'm going to give you guys points for it yet, or if I'm just going to soft test it. I think I'll give you points, but I may not. We'll see how it goes. We may just soft test it. But if there's a very small number of players, we may as well just give you points. Any word from YouTube on getting the old channel back? No. 0 word from YouTube on getting the old channel back, which is really frustrating because there's lots of, to be honest, there's lots of fun memories there for me. Things I'd like to look back on that I haven't saved locally because I didn't think there was any chance of us losing them. YouTube did release the claims on a couple of our videos going back about 6 months. So like our videos, if we use like licensed music, we'd get a notification that was like, oh, the video has now been blocked in like North Korea, Cuba, a couple of other random places. So we never thought it was too serious. So when we were submitting our appeal for the channel being deleted, we were like, well, we used a bit of licensed music, but it was only for a very short amount of time and we used it under Creative Commons, all this sort of stuff. So about a week after submitting our appeal, the claim got released on a lot of our prior videos. So we figured that it was only a matter of time until the channel got released again, but so far nothing on the channel. And there's no real way to appeal that to YouTube if your channel isn't registered as a a content creating, money making commercial channel, which ours wasn't. Should have been probably, but it wasn't. So here we are. Anyway, we've got almost 10 teams in the game, so I think we're almost ready to get started. Team captains, you should be able to see your answer sheets. Let's get ready to rumble. Round one is, as always, general knowledge. Let's get going with question one. This shoe company, Converse, is owned by what major corporation? We've After Eights for our quiz After Eight. Very good. Bit of mint chocolate. I was a big fan of After Eights as a child, which sort of managed to transition into like the period of my teenage years where I started having like an allowance and disposable income for the first time. And like I would like kind of sort of like, there was a sort of a short period of my life where I would like buy After Eights, when I went to buy sweets in Tesco as like my sweets. And like that was a particularly lush moment in my life, but something I've strayed away from. Maybe I should go back to the After Eights. Anyway, the shoe company Converse is owned by what major corporation? Question two. What disco queen's first gold record was called Love to Love You Baby? Also, hello Thomas and the Tadmeisters. Tadmeisters are one team who I still don't see on our scoreboard. So if you guys haven't, if you think you've already logged in, maybe just refresh that browser, clear the cookies, whatever it is you need to do. But at the moment I see Team Glenn, Quarantine Eternal, Team Kalala, Uncivil Servants. We are Negan, featuring the Podlers. Good to have you. Fake Franzalazo, One Mobster, and Matt and Eve were the best round of the quiz. We just joined as the After Eight Meisters. Nice. What disco queen's first gold record was called Love to Love You Baby? Question three. What is the traditional meat on a Reuben sandwich? Very popular deli style sandwich. The Reuben sandwich. What is the traditional meat on a Reuben sandwich? Question four. What two words did Jim Henson combine to come up with the name Muppet? What two words did Jim Henson combine to come up with the name Muppet? I think one of these is quite easy. I think the other one is quite tricky. Question five. What war features in the plot of Louise May Alcott's Little Women? Book turned film. Massively successful as both book and film, of course. What war features in the plot of Louisa May Alcott's Little Women? Question six. What side of a book are the odd numbered pages usually on? Do us a favor and don't open any books. I couldn't tell you this. What side of a book are the odd numbered pages usually on? Question 7. What is the name of Porky Pig's girlfriend? What's the name of Porky Pig's girlfriend? And finally, question 8. What is the easternmost Caribbean country? Bit of random geography. What is the easternmost Caribbean country? I don't know what defines a Caribbean country. I presume some publication or geographic academic does and gave us the answer to this question. But anyway, what is the easternmost Caribbean country? Where C start and end is a bit arbitrary. And some of you may have noticed there's a 9th space for an answer on your answer sheet today. And that is our new sort of bonus thing. We're going to see if this works or not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a pixelated photograph of a movie still. And in each round, I'm going to make it less pixelated. And if you get it in round 1, you'll get points in round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because you'll keep getting it right. If you get it in round 4, you'll get points in rounds 4, 5, and 6. So if you get it in the very start, it'll be worth 6 points to you over the course of the quiz. If you get it at the very end, it'll be worth 1 point to you over the 6 rounds of quiz. So we're practicing it. So you don't need to pay attention to that. Just if you can in round 9, tell us what movie this is. This is a very famous still from a very famous movie. I hope this is a still that's famous enough that you'll all get it, or all the teams will get it. Not every person, but all the teams will get it when we show you the non-pixelated version. But here is a very pixelated movie still. Have a whack at guessing what film it's from. We'll show you a less pixelated version of it, but still a pretty useless one in 1 round's time. So here's your recap slide for the round. The shoe company in Converse, owned by what major corporation? What Disco Queen's first gold record was called Love to Love You Baby? What is traditional meat in a Reuben sandwich? What 2 words did Jim Henson combine to come up with the name Muppet? What war features in the plot of Louisa May Alcott's Little Women? What side of the book are the odd numbered pages usually on? What is the name of Porky Pig's girlfriend? What is the easternmost Caribbean country? Team captains, you have 2 minutes as always. It's 8:15. 8:17 is when I need those answers in by. I'll be back in a moment. Be getting those answers in, folks. Only about 30 seconds until I close the round. So, some of you doing all right. Let us know what you think about our pixelated film screen question thing. Anyone who gets that picture in round 1 deserves £1 million. Okay. there's no way for me to confirm to you if you got it or not over the next couple of rounds. So the other thing is, like, unless you're very, very confident as a reason to change, there's almost no reason to change as the quiz goes on. Alright, team captains, I'm going to collect those answer sheets right now, so I'm forcing the collection. If you haven't hit submit, please do hit it. We'll get those in. All right. None of you got it. None of you got it. Some really good guesses, though. Let's go over the answers to the round. The shoe company Converse is owned by Nike. Disco Queen's first gold record, Love to Love You Baby, was the wonderful Donna Summer. The traditional meat in a Reuben sandwich. I thought this was pastrami, but I don't know if I was right. I don't think I was right. It's corned beef. So well done if you got that. Two words that Jim Henson combined to come up with the name Muppet are marionette and puppet. Marionette and puppet. So a lot of you said moving puppet or musical puppet, or a lot of people knew it was puppet, but marionette was the word they were looking for, believe it or not. What war features in the plot of Louise May Alcott Still Women? It's the American Civil War. What side of the book are the odd numbered pages usually on? It is the right hand side. Porky Pig's girlfriend is called Petunia. The easternmost Caribbean country is Barbados. And that gets us on to round 2 tomorrow in history. So I'm going to reveal the scoreboard quickly as soon as I actually calculate the darn thing. Glenn and Mobster. Team Glenn and one Mobster in the lead right now. They both got perfect scores around 1. Quarantine and Turner pulled a 7, so they're in 3rd. And the rest of the teams were split in 5s and 4s. So quite a hard first round, I think, for everybody involved. Let's go on with round 2 tomorrow in history. And as I said, nobody got the correct answer for our pixelated movie still. So whatever you said last time, you may as well change the guess next round. Team Captain should be able to see your answer sheets. Let's go. In 1963, Jack Ruby assassinated whom? So who did Jack Ruby kill? In 1963, Jack Ruby assassinated whom? Question 2. In 1971, in a famous unsolved mystery, a hijacker parachuted out of a passenger plane with $200,000. What was his name? In 1971, in a famous unsolved mystery, a hijacker parachuted out of a passenger plane with $200,000. What was his name? Question 3. In 1989, communism ends in Czechoslovakia. After what series of protests? What was the name of the period of instability that led to the fall of communism in Czechoslovakia in 1989? Culminating on the 24th of November. 1989. Communism ends in Czechoslovakia after what series of protests? Question 4. It's the birthday of this man who drummed for the Beatles but is not Ringo Starr. It's the birthday of this man who drummed for the Beatles, but is not Ringo Starr. Question 5. In 1642, Abel Tasman was the first man to set foot on an island that would be named after him. What was it then called? In 1642, Abel Tasman was the first man to set foot on an island that would be named after him. What was it then called? I say what was it then called. I think I should probably change the phrase on that. What was it first called? I'm not sure it had a name when he set foot on it, but then it got a different name and was then much later named after him, I think. Yeah, Thomas has the correct clarification there. So, not what was it named once it was named after him? What was it famously named before it was renamed after him? Made bags of that. Question 6. In 1859, an extremely influential book was published after 20 years of hesitancy by its author. Can you name it? Yeah, no, that's what it was called when he arrived. That's what it was called when he was arrived. In 1859, an extremely influential book was published after 20 years of hesitancy by its author. Can you name it? Question 7. In 1877, this novel by Anna Sewell was published. She died just 5 months later. It has sold 50 million copies. It's one of the best-selling books in the English language. One of the best-selling novels in the English language. It was her only successful novel. Wildly successful novel. In 1877, this novel by Anna Sewell was published. She died just 5 months later. It has sold 50 million copies. And question 8. It's also the birthday of the oldest son of Tom Hanks. He's also an actor. What is his first name? His second name is Hanks. Unsurprisingly. Also the birthday of the oldest son of Tom Hanks, also an actor. What is his first name? All right, Team Captains, here is your slightly less pixelated version of the same picture. I'm not sure this is any more helpful to you, but another 30 seconds to have another guess at what film this is from, what movie this is a still from. And here's your recap slide for the round. 1963, Jack Ruby assassinated whom? 1971, in a famous unsolved mystery, a hijacker parachuted out of a passenger plane with $200,000. What was his name? 1989, communism ends in Czechoslovakia after what series of protests? It's the birth of this man who drummed for the Beatles but is not Ringo Starr. In 1642, Abel Tasman was the first man to set foot on an island that would be named after him. What was it called when he set foot on it. In 1859, this extremely influential book was published after 20 years of hesitancy by its author. In 1877, this novel by Anne Sewell was published. She died just 5 months later. It sold 50 million copies. And it's also the birthday of the oldest son of Tom Hanks, who's also an actor. What is his name? For the record, November 24th is interesting in that much more stuff happened in the 1800s than happened in the 1800s than happened in the 1900s, which is unusual for our reigns. Usually all of our history is much more modern. Oh, I forgot to give you the time. It was 8:28. You went until 8:30 and a little bit of change to get your answers in. You guys are doing really well on this round. I'm going to collect the answer sheets in just a second. But I still don't know if we've had any movement on our pixelated picture. My hesitancy to make this a point scoring round is what exactly we're rewarding. I don't want to get to the end of round 6 and a bunch of teams be like, we still don't know what movie that is. And feel like, you know, they missed out on 6 points that they never had a chance to get. So we're going to try to keep the movie still so that they're obvious enough that what we're really rewarding is people sort of being able to use the creative left part of their brain to like look at the color combinations and see the woods for the trees, if you like. But anyway, collecting the answer sheets right now, so if you haven't already hit submit, please do hit it. If a team guesses the picture, what happens if they change the guess the next round not knowing they guessed it? Yeah, it's a good question. I have two choices. Either to leave it this way, right? So that you just get points every single time you guess it correctly. Or to record what round you get it in separately and add it onto the scoreboard in a different way, which I can do. The only problem with the former is that you'll know you got it right if you get 9 points on a round. And so maybe that just over rewards teams that are getting 8 points already. So I have to think about it. I'm totally okay with your suggestions. Why does it keep forcing the answers from Tablefish Admin when I'm not playing? I wonder. Anyway, let's go. So, in 1963, Jack Ruby assassinated Lee Harvey Oswald, who had in turn assassinated John F. Kennedy. In 1971, D.B. Cooper was the name of the hijacker who jumped out of the plane with $200,000 on a stormy Washington evening. It is incredibly dangerous to try to parachute out of a passenger jet. It's a very interesting case. He must have been connected with the airline industry because he had picked the only passenger jet that it was even remotely possible to parachute out of and survive. But even still, there's no strong evidence that he survived, and it's thought that he probably died. 1989, communism ends in Czechoslovakia after the Velvet Revolution, which is a beautiful name. Beautiful name for an uprising, I think. It's the birthday of this man who drummed for the Beatles but is not Ringo Starr. It is Pete Best. In 1642, Abel Tasman was the first man to set foot on Van Diemen's Land. Van Diemen's Land. And it was later used as a penal colony, obviously. And in trying to rebrand it, they named it after him, Abel Tasman. It became Tasmania, so that island of Australia. In 1859, an extremely influential book was published after 20 years of hesitancy by its author. It was called On the Origin of the Species. Its author was Charles Darwin. And another book published, 1877. This novel by Anne Sewell was published. She died just 5 months later. It sold 150 million copies. It's Black Beauty, of course. And finally, it's the birthday of the oldest son of Tom Hanks, also an actor. You see him in quite a lot of movies that Tom Hanks is involved in. I think he's in Band of Brothers and stuff. It is Colin Hanks. Well done if you got that. That gets us on to round 3, sports and games. I don't think any of you got our pixelated movie yet, so I think it's still alive. Let me just clarify that because I don't want anyone to be like, you said I didn't get it when I got it. No, none of you. No, still a no on that. So we get on to round 3, sports and games. Welcome to the scoreboard. Gene without Finn, I'll give you a 4 for round 1. Congratulations on getting an 8 in round 2. Congratulations on all of our perfect scores from that round. That was Gene without Finn, as well as One Mobster and Quarantina Turner, who've jumped into second. They've jumped Team Glenn in second on the table. A lot of people improving their scores on civil servants. We are Negan, Matt and Neve. You guys all had your best rounds of the quiz so far, so well done to you. I mean, everyone's off minimums, which is what we love to see here at Tablefish. Let's get on to round 3, sports and games. Team Captains should be able to see your answer sheets. Let's roll. In 1979, footballer Trevor Francis broke what milestone in the English Premier League? In 1979, footballer Trevor Francis broke what milestone in the EPL? Question 2. V-Bucks are the in-game currency for what famous, quite trendy video game? Not as trendy in pop culture as it was a couple of years ago, but a very influential game nonetheless. V-Bucks are the in-game currency for what famous video game? Question 3. Most NRL teams in Australia are based in what city? I guess I could just shout out that you have it, right? That'd be easy enough, wouldn't it? As soon as the team gets it, I just shout out that they have it, and then they just remember to put in the same answer every round from then onwards. Most NRL teams in Australia are based in what city? The other thing I can do is read out all of the wrong answers every round so that as a group you can all narrow it down instead of having to narrow it down yourself. But anyway, that's National Rugby League, I think is what NRL stands for, just so you guys know. So that's 13-man rugby in Australia. Question 4. In motor racing, this is the name for a piece of road with severe S-shaped bends that force drivers to go more slowly. It's a popular style of corner. In motor racing, this is the name for a piece of road with severe S-shaped bends that forces drivers to go more slowly. Question 5. Kamate and Capo Pango are two different versions of what? Kamate and Capo Pango are two different versions of what? Question 6. In the sport of NFL, what is it called when the team with the ball concedes points by being tackled in their own end zone? The closest you'll get to an own goal in American football. In the sport of NFL, what is it called when the team with the ball concede points by being tackled in their own end zone? Question 7. What country invented the sport of bobsleigh? Oh yeah, Jamaica. We have a bobsled team. It's not Jamaica, probably. Seems unlikely to me anyway. What country invented the sport of bobsleigh? Question 8. How many tournaments make up a Grand Slam in golf? How many tournaments make up a Grand Slam in golf? And I promise you this is getting, by the same factor, less pixelated each round. And will, if we continue this run of depixelization, be by round 6 the original screenshot. But what film is this? As of yet, none of you have got the right answer. There has been a broad selection of guesses. As per usual, we're going to go to the break after round 3. Just before we do, I wanted to throw this up on screen and say a huge thank you to everyone who contributed to Tablefish over the summer and the last couple of months. You guys are awesome. You keep the show on the road. As you all know, Tablefish is mostly created by a team of people who are not me, who do all the boring work in running Tablefish. And it's those people who you support when you contribute to Tablefish. So if you feel like contributing, scan the QR code, do it table.fish/contribute. And drop us a few quid. We'd seriously appreciate it. But our mission has always been keep quizzes going while there aren't quizzes going. It looked like we were going to try to wrap it all up over the Christmas period, and maybe go quiet in the new year. But with restrictions changing again for the worse, who knows what the future holds for Tablefish. But we would like to have an in-person show at some stage in the future. So let's not rule that out. But anyway, there are the details if you need them. Here is the recap slide for the round. In 1979, footballer Trevor Francis broke what milestone in the English Premier League? V-Bucks are the in-game currency for what famous video game? Most NRL teams in Australia are based in what city? In motor racing, this is the name for a piece of road with severe S-shaped bend that forced the drivers to go more slowly. Kamate and Capo Pango are two different versions of what? In the sport of NFL, that's American football, what is it called when the team with the ball concedes points by being tackled in their own end zone? What country invented the sport of bobsleigh? And how many tournaments make up a Grand Slam in golf? Team captains. Let's take 7.5 minutes and come back for the second half of the quiz at 8:50. I will talk to you beautiful people then. I am calling in the answer sheets, folks. So if you haven't already hit submit, please do hit it. I'm also back. Don't remember, I'm going to start the quiz again for a minute or two. What do we got? On civil servants. It is a picture of Chris hosting Tablefish. No, but it could well be. I do wear light blue a lot. Fake Brazzledazzle says the resident American doesn't even know what it's called. Alright, okay. That round was brutal. Absolutely brutal. We gave out a heap of 4s. Anyway, no one's got our picture yet. So let's go over the answers to an absolute nightmare of a sports round. In 1979, footballer Trevor Francis broke the record for what? He was the first ever £1 million transfer in the English League, going from Birmingham City to Nottingham Forest. So the first ever £1 million footballer in England. I hope if you didn't know it, you at least find it interesting. Maybe. V-Bucks are the virtual in-game currency in the game Fortnite. Most NRL teams in Australia are based in the city of Sydney. The vast majority of you said Melbourne. Melbourne is where all the AFL teams are based. So all of the Australian football teams are based in Melbourne, and all of the NRL teams are based in Sydney. But, you know, not all of them, but plurality of them. In motor racing, a road with severe S-bend that forces drivers to go more slowly, and it's like a left or right and a right or left, is called a chicane. Or as Fernando Alonso would call it, a chicken. Kamate and Capo o Pango are two different versions of the New Zealand haka, the war dance that the All Blacks and Fiji, Tonga and Samoa do before games. So New Zealand have two, Capo Pango and Kamate. In the sport of NFL, it is called a safety when the team with the ball concede points by being tackled in their own end zone. Safety. And in the sport of bobsleigh, was invented by Switzerland. This was a brutal round. A lot of sports history in this round. And in golf, 4 tournaments make up a Grand Slam. I feel like that's a popular, like it's the same in tennis. I feel like 4 for a Grand Slam is popular. So that gets us on to round 4, which is a picture round. What a character. So firstly, please forgive us for that sports round. I wrote it all, so you can blame me. So actually, before we do that, we should probably have a wee look at the scoreboard, because there has been an important development on the scoreboard, and that is that as a result of quite a strong showing and quite a brutal round, Team Glen has jumped back to second, having had a tough enough second round. So one mobster still leading, perfect scores, just none of those bonus questions yet. Glenn in second, Quarantine Star in third, Matt and Eve with the best round of the quiz in fourth, but without the best round of the quiz on Civil Servants fifth, Gene without Finn in sixth, and Negan and Frazzle Dazzle are tied for 7, Team Kalala. And the After Aiders will be looking for more love. And the DTs, I'll give you guys some points for round 1 and 2 if you're knocking about. But let's get on with this picture round. So let's change to here, and I don't think I've got the, I haven't got the thing. I'll set the chat up in just a second. But in the meantime, here are your answer sheets, and let's go. What is the name of this character? I'm always pretty brutal at these. Let's go on. Question 2. Who is that? Who is that? Question 3. Who is this? Question 4. Who is this? Question 5. Who is that? Question 6. Seven. These two legends. These guys, and finally question 8. Who is this? And here you have a slightly less pixelated version of our pixeled game. So I think it's getting there. Scorcer Arcady is strongly of the belief that a good few teams will get it this round. But here is our pixeled picture. So the absolute very best of luck to y'all trying to get the pixeled in. Is it just frustrating you? It's too hard, too easy. Let me know. Let me know. I'm curious. Here's recap slide for the round. Let me go full screen. It's 8:59 and a little bit. I'll give you till 8:52 to get those answers in. Alright, Team Captains. Collecting those entries right now, so if you haven't already hit some in, please do hit it. Switching off full streak and coming back. How are we doing? How are we doing? Hope you're all well. You're looking well. No one's got it. So on we go. On we go. Let's go with the answers to our picture round anyway. Just make sure I got all the teams there. I did, yeah. This is someone called Linus. I don't know. I don't even know what he's from. From television. Linus from television. Seems to be some sort of Muppet or Puppet or Sesame Street character. His name is Animal. He looks anything but. This, as someone pointed out, Eurovision famous Dustin the Turkey, what an absolute legend, Torquay. A lot of you said the big red dog here, which I thought was peculiar, as just your answer. His name's Clifford. He is the big red dog, but his name is Clifford. Yeah. America's most famous priest, apparently. This is Reverend Lovejoy from The Simpsons. A character that I can only presume is from Disney's Tarzan. That is Jane. These two ginger legends were the inspiration for many of my bullies growing up as a ginger. These are Podge and Raj. Stand too close to any other ginger when you're a child and you immediately become one of Podge or Raj. And rightfully so. And this guy here is called Reptar. I don't know what he's from. Television, again. So that gets us on to round 5. This was a requested round. Buy you a drink. This round is going to be all about alcohol. The cause of and solution to all of life's problems. So buy you a drink. Just before that, let's have a quick look at the scoreboard and see if there's been any impact on the scoreboard. There really hasn't. One mobster still knocking around with a perfect score. Team Glenn and Quarantine Turner both dropped points, but they both dropped the same amount of points. So proportional to each other, they did all right. Matt and Eve got a perfect score on that round. So Matt and Eve with the best round of the quiz so far, with their best round of the quiz so far. And I guess that puts them one off the podium. And to be fair and uncivil servants also closing that gap on the top 3. They're one off Matt and Eve. So it's kind of exciting from 2nd to 5th. And there's a bit of a gap. And there's 2 teams tied for 6th and 2 teams tied for 8th. So all quite exciting at the moment. And then Team Kalala and the DTs hoping for a little bit more love as we move through the rounds. Round 5 is all about alcohol. I hope you guys enjoy a drink. Let's get rolling. Team Canada should be able to see your answer sheets. And let's roll. According to Drinks International, what cocktail is the most popular cocktail in bars in the USA? Now, their methodology for calculating this was a little bit suspect. What they did was they asked bars what their most popular cocktail was. And this was the most popular cocktail in the most bars. Right? And that's an important distinction. And I'm sure something that the pedants among you will care about. But anyway, according to Drinks International, what cocktail is the most popular cocktail in bars in the United States? How do you not know Reptar, Chris? Well, I was the 4th of 5 children, so I had very little control over my TV when I was a kid. Rugrats and Snoopy, were you never a child? I think I've watched more Rugrats recently as an adult. I just haven't seen Reptar. I'm awful. On we go to question 2. Name the song that was originally written and performed by Neil Diamond but became a UK #1 for UB40. Scorcher Katie wading into the comment section to give me shit. Rightfully so. Name the song that was originally written and performed by Neil Diamond but became a UK #1 hit for UB40. Question 3. What's the name for the plastic balls that can be found in cans of Guinness? Popular myth has it that this is one of the world's most valuable patents. Stuff like that, but I'm not sure. What's the name for the plastic balls that can be found in cans of Guinness? Question 4. In the world of wine, what does chambre mean? Or chambre? I don't know. In the world of wine, what does chambre mean? Question 5. The popular non-alcoholic beverage that combines iced tea and lemonade, named after an American golfer. What was his name? I have no idea what this drink is. I've never heard of this drink before, but when if I had to guess a very boring golfer for what sounds like a relatively boring drink, I'd have guessed this golfer. Like, I guessed it and then I had a look at the answer and I was like, yeah, that's what I would have said for no reason other than I think he's boring, and I'd have been right. His popular non-alcoholic beverage combines iced tea and lemonade. It was named after an American golfer. What was his name? Question 6. What is the main and most distinct ingredient of mead? What is the main and most distinct ingredient of mead? Question 7. What are the bubbles made of in a bubble tea? Why does Deliveroo keep telling me that I can get bubble tea delivered to my apartment with no delivery fee? Like, who wants that? Who wants that service? I don't... Have any of you ever got bubble tea Deliverooed? Does it travel? Have any of you even ever had bubble tea? Where in Dublin even sells bubble tea? What's going on in the world? Anyway, what are the bubbles? And why does Deliveroo think I want it? What are the bubbles made of in a bubble tea? A boba. And question 8. What is the national liqueur of the USA specifically? What is the national liqueur of the USA specifically? All right. If you don't get it this time, then it's just a regular guess the image round. Are we any closer to knowing what film this picture is from? I'd almost give you points if you can even. I won't. But if you haven't got a clue what the film is, feel free to just describe in brackets what you think it's a picture of, and that'll give me an indication that we picked a film that was too hard. But this pixelated movie still has come a long way from where we started. What film is this? And here's a recap slide for the round. According to Drinks International, what cocktail is the most popular cocktail in bars in the USA? Name the song that was originally written and performed by Neil Diamond and became a UK #1 hit for UB40. What's the name of the plastic balls that can be found in cans of Guinness? In the world of wine, what does Chambra mean? This popular non-alcoholic beverage that combines iced tea and lemonade was named after American golfer. What's his name? What's the main ingredient, the most distinct ingredient of mead? What are the bubbles made of? Bubble tea. What is the national liqueur of the USA specifically? Team captains, you have 2 minutes. It's just gone 21-12. You've got until 21-14 to get those answers in. I'm excited now. 1, 2, 3, 4 teams. You've all got it. Glenn, the DTs, Gene without Finn, Uncivil Servants. You all got the answer. You all got it. Well done, T. Matt and Eve got it. Quarantina Turner got it. One mobster did not get it. We Are Negan, featuring the Poddlers. You guys got it. Are you way off? Yes, you could. You actually could not be further away with your guess. It's physically impossible for you to have been more wrong than you were with that. And I can say that in the confidence that you've got every single other question on the quiz right, so you won't take it. Actually, that's not true. You got one regular question wrong in that round as well. I can say that in the confidence that you won't be too offended. You're miles away. I'm collecting the answer sheets, team captains. If you haven't already hit submit, please do hit it. I think I'm going to do it again. I think I enjoyed it. I think I was excited. The After 8 Meisters got it. I think I was excited every round to see if anyone got it. So I think I'm going to do it again just for me. And maybe what I'll do is I'll start from less pixelated, so that there's not such a dramatic change at any stage. It sort of went from impossible to very doable. So Team Kalala and Frazzle Dazzle got it. So Team Kalala and one mobster, you're the only team still looking for it as we go into the next round. So let's go for the answers to the round. According to Drinks International, the cocktail that is the most popular cocktail in bars in the United States is the Old Fashioned. So again, I will say that is the cocktail that the plurality of bars responded to say it was their most popular cocktail. I suspect that it gets absolutely demolished by the margarita in a whole bunch of seaside bars. That means the margarita is probably the best-selling cocktail, but the margarita was only like 8th on that list. But overall, but anyway, the Old Fashioned is the answer we have. That was the answer to the question we asked. Name the song that was originally written and performed by Neil Diamond but became a UK #1 for UB40. The clue was that this was a drinks round. The answer was red wine. The plastic balls in can of Guinness are called a widget. In the world of wine, chambre means room temperature. Well done if you got that. This popular non-alcoholic beverage that combines iced tea and lemonade was named after American golfer. His name is Arnold Palmer. Yeah, I think I'll go through some of the wrong answers once everyone's got the correct answer. Because otherwise it's a helpful clue. Arnold Palmer. The main and most distinct ingredient of mead is honey. Oh, sugar. I'm in great form. The bubbles in bubble tea are made out of tapioca, apparently. Well done if you got that. And the national liqueur of the United States is bourbon. Well done if you got that. I guess on the final round, alphabet soup. So let's recalculate the scoreboard and display it. We have one mobster 39, Team Glenn 35, Quarantina Turner 34, Uncivil Servants and Matt and Eve tied for 33. That's pretty spicy. We Are Negan have carved themselves a bit of a gap. They're on 30, Gene Without Finn 28, Frazzle Dazzle 27. And then we have 3 teams, Team Kalala, the After 8s, the DTs, all tied for 24. So very, very exciting at different points in the table as we go into Alphabet Soup. Traditionally, our easiest round. Remember, if you submitted the correct answer, which was most of you, to the picture round last round, submit the same answer again this round, obviously. Otherwise, you'll not get the points for it this round. So let's go. Round 6, Alphabet Soup. Team Captains should be able to see your answer sheet. Question 1. The famous El was a Spartan admiral who played a key role in Sparta's domination of Greece in the 400s. This famous El was a Spartan admiral who played a key role in Sparta's domination of Greece in the 400s. Question 2. Prior to the early 1980s, the automaker Nissan, or Nissan for the Americans among you, was known by what D name? Prior to the early 1980s, the automaker Nissan was known by what D name? Question 3. Philography is the name for a collection of A blanks. Name for the collection of A blanks. Philography is the name for a collection of A blanks. Question 4. In James Bond, there is a character called Q. What is Q a code name for? James Bond, there's a character called Q. What is Q a code name for? Question 5. This C card game is in the Rummy family and it's Spanish for basket. This C card game is in the Rummy family and it is Spanish for basket. Also, I will get my hair cut tomorrow or Thursday. I'll get a cut before next Tuesday's quiz. I just kind of enjoy playing with it right now. Question 6. The BMW logo is said to be inspired by the circular design of a P blank. Think about your BMW logos. The BMW logo is said to be inspired by the circular design of a P blank. Question 7. Before it was called the Big Mac, McDonald's signature sandwich was called the A blank. I've had McDonald's my life. I'd say upwards of 2,000 times. That seems about right. No, that's way too much. I say upwards of 500 times. 500 times seems about right. I've had McDonald's in my life upwards of 500 times. I enjoy it. I think I've said it before in this. I enjoy it. It's good. I've never had a Big Mac. Before it was called the Big Mac, McDonald's signature sandwich was called the A Blank. Never had a Big Mac. The area located at the east end of Long Island. The area located at the east end of Long Island are collectively known as the H Blanks. Jesus. Oh, here we go. We got some knowledge. There are different origin stories. Well, in that case, we'll just change the phrasing of the question to popular myth has it that the BMW logo is inspired by, because I'm sure that's where we got it. Yeah, BMW. Okay, yeah. We'll go with popular myth. The area located at the east end of Long Island are collectively known as the H Blanks. And here is your non-pixelated movie still. So if you haven't got it yet, this is the non-pixelated version of the image. What film is this? For uno punto. Alright, here's your final recap start of the round. We're going to do this, we're going to queue this up, and then we're going to play some table foggle. We're going to go over the correct answer. We're going to give you guys a score. We're going to let you all go away for your Tuesday evening. So anyway, this famous sailor was a Spartan admiral who played a key role in Sparta's domination of Greece in the 400s. Prior to the early 1980s, this automaker, Nissan, was known by what name? Philography is the name for a collection of A blanks. In James Bond, there's a character called Q. What's Q a code name for? The C card game is in the Rummy family, and it's the name Spanish word for basket. The BMW logo is said to be inspired by popular myth, but this is apparently wrong, by the circular design of a P blank. Before it was called the Big Mac, McDonald's signature sandwich was called the A blank. The area located in the east end of Long Island are collectively known as the H blank. Oh, I still don't know the movie. Oh, no. Andrew, if it makes you feel any better, I had initially put another movie there that Scorcher Katie vetoed that you guys had guessed several rounds ago, even though it was incorrect. So, assuming you had guessed the same pattern of random movies, you actually would have got points if Scorcher Katie hadn't intervened and changed the movie. I'm trying to under the bus here. But, it's 21:25. You have until 21:27 to get those answers in. I'll queue up some table foggle. I do appreciate that your knowledge on all things motor racing is greatly superior to basically anyone else who's involved in the quiz. So when you say that question 6 has a urban myth or a bit of a flaw in it, I suspect you're absolutely correct. Trying to queue you up a nice table foggle. It was far too difficult all the way up to round 5. Alright, so I'll start from a less pixelated place. Make the changes more incremental next time, and maybe pick a picture that's got a little bit more going on. I will pick very, very famous pictures. Alright, Team Cams, if you haven't already hit submit, please do hit it. I'm collecting those answer sheets for it right now. We'll switch over to table foggle. Oh yeah, as I say, it's weirdly exciting for me. I don't know why. I'm just like, are they gonna build suspense the way through the quiz? And it's an easy enough little round to put together. I don't know if we're gonna do I don't know if we're gonna be able to do music rounds on this YouTube account. We might just set up another burner YouTube account. But getting my personal YouTube account banned is more annoying for me than just getting the Tablefish ones banned. So for the moment, music rounds are on hold. So we're looking for something a little bit spicy to sort of replace them, if that makes sense to all of ye. One mobster gets the only 9-point score of the day because he manages to get his bonus question in around where... Actually, someone else might get 9 points. I haven't rolled it out yet. Put a pin in that. Right, let's play some Table Foggle. So, why does that say join the quiz? Where's the... Where do I interact to make this... Cool. Close that. You guys know how this works. We'll give you 2 minutes. Why hasn't that changed the minigame? What is going on? Is it a minigame on your screens? Ah, here. All right, I'm just giving you 2 minutes from 21:28 because I didn't know what was going on there. So you've got until 21:30 to get those answers in. Best of luck to you. Platform's having a bad day. Can I sing the music rounds? No, but I will play them on a kazoo. That seems like a reasonable compromise, right? I guess we can do other audio-y type stuff like that. It's probably not a bad... It's probably not a bad suggestion, to be fair. I know you were being facetious, but... I think I'm giving you another 10 seconds for this. Am I? Does that seem right? How much time have I given you for? I have no idea. I'm giving you 10. I'm closing this in 10 seconds. But done. That's that. I don't know. I don't know why I did that. Here we go. Let's go over. Let's go over the correct answers. Meet me at Oh no, because I hit 3 as well. The L Spartan. Someone said Linus for this, which I enjoyed. Lysander. Well done if you got that. Prior to 1980s, Nissan was known as Datsun. Philography is the collection of autographs, which is pretty cool actually. James Bond. Q is for quartermaster, which makes a lot of sense. He's the guy with all the cool technology and materials and weapons. The C card game we were looking for is Canasta. The BMW logo is, by some myths, said to be inspired by a propeller. I don't know if you got that. Before it was called the Big Mac, the signature sandwich at McDonald's was called the Aristocrat. That must have been a while ago. I have no memory of that. The area located at the east end of Long Island are collectively known as the Hamptons. Of course, very bougie. And that wraps us up. Our bonus question was the film The Shining. So well done if you got that in round 5. Hard luck if you didn't get it at all. I think we'll keep that. I think we'll keep that concept going. With next week's quiz with just a little bit of a calibration. So I want to thank all of you guys for playing. You will find us back here next week, probably in the same place here on my YouTube channel, but hopefully back at the Tablefish channel. We'll see how it goes. And otherwise, wishing you guys a safe week. The scoreboard has been recalculated and is for display, and huge congratulations to Kevin, one mobster, who was, honestly, he was never really in doubt. 48 points, maximum possible score in a normal quiz. Obviously today's quiz there was a maximum possible score of 54, but none of you guys were getting close to that. So 48 points is a great return. Glenn in second on 43, kept those at bay for a while. And then in third place, which was the real spicy stuff, we have Quarantine Turner on 40, on Civil Servants 39, Matt and Eve 38, and We Are Negan on 37. So really tight there right to the end. Great final round from Quarantine Turner to keep it up. So well done to you. Gene Without Finn on 32, tied with Fake Frazzle Dazzle, Team Kalapa on 29, along with DTs and the After Eighters. Hoping for a better luck next quiz, but absolutely smashing Table Foggle out of the park with 65 points, which was massive. There was some curiosity as to what some of the incorrect guesses were for question 9. So that was Shawshank, Saving Private Ryan, E.T., The Notebook, The Big Lebowski, The Social Network, Some Good Men. 7 were all answered in round 1. Round 2, we had Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, Shawshank again. We had The Hunger Games, Sahara, Shawshank again, Inception, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Titanic, which was the picture I was going to give you. And round 3, we had Moonraker, picture of Chris hosting the quiz, another Star Wars movie, Transformers, Dumb and Dumber, Basic Instinct, Forrest Gump, Air Force One. All of these are great inspiration for when we actually do another one. Life of Brian was guessed. And my favorite was when all of you guys got it in round 5. Kevin guessed the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, which couldn't be further from The Shining. So I quite enjoyed that. But anyway, I'm going to leave you guys with that tonight. Have an absolutely super weekend. I'm going to put the contribution details up for a few minutes, and then I'm going to end the stream. But otherwise, from myself, from Katie, from Aidan, from Richie, from Rick, thanks for playing. We'll speak to you next week, and have a super week. Good evening and good night.